to section 6.1, page 3. We've got a theorem that talks about that inscribed angle that we got the definition for on the previous page. It says the measure of an inscribed angle, so remember that means the vertex is on the circle, is half the measure of its intercepted arc. So measure of angle ABC, that's this one here, is going to equal half of this intercepted arc. Okay, so that's the way we write it down. Okay, so basically this page is one problem, but there's a lot going on in this one problem. So you may want to pause the video here. If you've got some highlighters, that's going to help you to write things down, or different colored pens and such, so try to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and label what we know. We know that the measure of angle DOE is equal to 76 degrees. Okay, so that's this one here, right here, is 76 degrees. So I'm going to try to write that as small as possible in here. So 76, that's this guy here. Okay, 76. All right, so now they also tell us that EOG, so that's going to be this one here, EOG. That one is equal to 82 degrees. Okay, so this here is equal to 82 degrees. 82 degrees. You can't really read that, can you? Let's put it down below. Okay, 82 degrees. Okay, that's that guy. All right. It's just hard to write that in there. Okay, so what do we know now? We know that we're at, and EF is a diameter. Okay, so it goes straight across. Okay, they're asking us for the measure of arc DE. So that's this guy right here, arc DE. So we know that it will be equal to the measure of a central angle that intercepts that arc. So we know that it's equal to the measure of angle DOE. And the measure of angle DOE is 76 degrees. So that's the measure of arc DE. Okay. All right, so I'm not happy with this. I think it's really hard to see. So let's try to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go with, let's make it like this. We'll say this right here is 76 degrees. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and label the next one, this one here, 82. And we'll do that one there. We'll say that is 82. Okay? All right, now we're being asked for the measure of arc DF. So DF, let's see, that's right here, DF. Again, central angle, okay? So it should be equal to the measure of that angle there, DOF, if we had it, okay? But let's go ahead and write it down. It's equal to the measure of angle DOF. Okay, now let's talk about whether or not we can find the measure of DOF. Well, notice that this is the diameter, so this whole angle here should be equal to 180, right? So how do we figure it out? We know that this right here will be 180 minus 76 degrees. Okay, so we're going to say 180 minus 76 degrees. So that's going to give us what? 104. Okay, so that's the measure of arc DF. Okay, so we might want to be keeping track of these things as we go along. So let's start off with, we'll make this guy blue. We'll say that we figured out that this one here, right here, okay, that arc right there, that measures 76 degrees. Okay, so let's go ahead and highlight it blue. Okay, then we just figured out that this arc here, DF, is going to equal, let's do this one yellow. We found that it is 104. Okay, so it is 104. Okay, so now take a look at what's going on here. Hopefully it makes sense to you. This is the diameter, so all the way around would equal 180. So that's what we have. 76 plus 104 is 180. Okay, so far so good, I hope. All right, then what do we know? Let's talk about, since we have this labeled here, this is 82 degrees, right? That's the central angle. So what do we know about this arc right here? What does it have to be? Well, if its central angle is 82, then its arc has to be 82 as well. Let's just go ahead and label that. We've got that done. We don't need it yet, but we might later. Okay, so that is 82. Okay, on to the next part of the problem now. Okay, so it says the measure of angle F. So let's take a look. F. Angle F. This is the one they're talking about because it's the only one in the circle. Okay, I want you to notice that angle F is an inscribed angle, right? Its vertex is on the circle. So let's write, since angle F is an inscribed angle, what does it measure? Measure of angle F is equal to half. When we pull that vertex back, it'll equal half the measure of its intercepted arc. So what's its intercepted arc? Well, here's the angle, so trace it out. It goes from D to E. So the arc DE. Well, we know the measure of arc DE, we have it labeled there as 76 degrees. Okay, so 1/2 of 76 degrees. So what's that going to equal? That equals 38 degrees. So that's the measure of angle F. Okay, next, measure of angle DGE. So let's figure out what that is. That's D. Then we have to go straight line. Notice you have two options here. Don't go on the crooked line. Go on the straight line. DGE. So that one there. Notice again, we have an inscribed angle. The vertex is on the circle. So since angle of DGE is an inscribed angle, the measure of angle DGE is going to equal 1/2 of its intercepted arc, DGE, so it goes from D to E. Again, measure of angle DE. Okay, so what is that going to be? Well, we just did it. It's 1/2 of 76, which is 38. Okay, we're done with that one. Okay, on to the next one now. The measure of arc FG. Okay, FG is this guy. Okay, let's talk about what that's going to be. Well, how would we be able to figure it out? We know that all the way around is 360, don't we? So if the whole thing is 360, then we've got to figure out what that piece is going to be. Sorry, I had to get my marker. Okay, so we know by the arc addition postulate that they all have to add to 360. Okay, so by arc addition postulate, we know that all arcs around the circle must add to, let me scoot this over, 360 degrees. Okay? So then how can we figure this out? Well, it would have been easier to just say that this was half the circle and it has to be 180. Why don't we do that? Oh well, we've written it this way. So we'll say the measure of arc FG, okay, it has to equal 360 degrees minus the other arcs that we have there. So minus the measure of arc EG minus the measure of arc DE minus the measure of arc DF. Okay, so 360 minus 82 minus 76 minus 104. Okay, so get out your calculator and do that. we have 360 minus 82 minus 76 minus 104. And that is 98. Okay, so that's the measure of that arc. Okay, so let's go ahead and label that now so that we have it for future reference. It's 98 degrees. Okay, let's put this in black. Okay, so on to the next problem. The measure of angle FEG. Okay, so FEG, again, it's an inscribed angle. So since it's an inscribed angle, we know that the measure of angle FEG is equal to half the measure of its intercepted arc. So FEG, its intercepted arc is FG. So we just figured out that that's 98. So we need half of that, which is 49 degrees. So that's the measure of that angle. Okay, on to E. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and stop here because I'm concerned that my video is getting too long. So we'll stop and we'll pick it up on the next video, the rest of the problem.